Why would families of homeless people allow them to be homeless? My brother-in-law Mark showed up at our house last winter, completely broke and sleeping in his car. He looked awful, hadn't showered in weeks, clothes falling apart, begging us for just a few days to get back on his feet. My wife Sarah couldn't say no to her baby brother. He's family, she said through tears. We have to help him. So we cleared out our spare room, bought him clothes, food, everything he needed. I even got him a job interview at my company for the following Monday. Mark seemed so grateful, hugging Sarah and promising he'd pay us back every penny. The first month was actually perfect. Mark worked every day, helped around the house, even played board games with our kids. Sarah was so proud, telling everyone how her brother had finally turned his life around. I remember watching them laugh together in the kitchen while cooking dinner, and for the first time in years, Sarah looked genuinely happy about her family situation. Emma, our 16-year-old, absolutely adored her Uncle Mark. He helped her with her math homework every night, drove her to soccer practice when we couldn't, and they'd stay up late watching old movies together. She'd never had that kind of relationship with any adult besides us. Mark would tell her stories about Sarah when they were kids, making Emma laugh until her sides hurt. "Dad, Uncle Mark is so cool," Emma would say. "I'm so glad he's living with us." Those words haunt me now. But then weird things started happening. Our credit card bills were higher than usual, small amounts, $50 here, $100 there. When we asked Mark about it, he said maybe we'd been eating out more than we thought. He seemed confused and concerned, even offering to help us track our spending. Then I noticed our daughter Emma's college savings account statements were coming to the house instead of being emailed. That was weird because I'd never changed the delivery method. Sarah started getting anxious. "Something feels off," she whispered to me one night. "Mark's been acting strange lately. He gets really defensive when I ask about his day at work." I tried to reassure her, but deep down, I was starting to worry too. Mark had been taking a lot of phone calls outside, pacing around our backyard for hours. When we asked who he was talking to, he'd just say, "work stuff," and change the subject. One morning, I decided to check the account online. My blood ran cold. The balance showed $3,247. It should have been $23,247. $20,000 was just gone. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through the transaction history, transfer after transfer, all to an account I'd never seen before. 8 years of sacrificing family vacations, buying generic groceries, driving our old car until it barely ran, all so Emma could go to college without debt. Gone. I called the bank immediately. They told me someone had been making online transfers for the past 3 weeks using my login information. The money had been moved to a checking account under Mark's name. I felt like I was going to throw up. This wasn't just about money. This was about Emma's future, about the promises we'd made to her since she was 8 years old. Every time she'd asked for expensive things, we'd said, "We're saving for your college, sweetheart." When I confronted him, he didn't even try to deny it. He just shrugged and said, "I needed the money for something important. I'll pay it back eventually." That's when I lost it completely. That was Emma's entire college fund. "We've been saving for 8 years. Mark looked me dead in the eye and said, "College is overrated anyway. I'm doing her a favor." The next morning, Mark was gone. He'd packed up everything in the middle of the night and disappeared. We never saw him again, and Emma had to take out massive student loans. Sarah won't even say his name anymore.